but I also don't take no crap.
You show me a successful man, I'll show you the woman right next to him. Not behind him, right next to him.
The thing is, when you have a man, you want that man to need you, not want you.
Okay, so let's talk about what it really means to need a man versus wanting one, or a woman. Because after Keisha Kaior's interview with Carlos King, the internet had some thoughts, some strong ones, but are they right or just projecting? And what can we learn from women like Keisha, Ciara, and Teyana? They're all successful in their own right. They're navigating these high-profile relationships differently, but with two common threads, their power and their position. Now, Keisha Kaior, we all know that she's the wife of Gucci Mane, right? She recently sat down with Carlos King and dropped a line that triggered a wave of philosophical debate. She said, "I want my husband to need me, not want me. He doesn't have to do anything except shower and go to the studio." Now, on the surface, that sounds like servitude, right? But when you look deeper, and that's what we're here to do, you realize that she's describing a very specific dynamic that works for her, right? She's not a pick-me, she's a boss, and she chooses to serve in this relationship. But when you make comments like that, of course, it's going to spark thousands of opinions, right? So one commenter said, "Correction, you don't want your partner to need you. You want your partner to want you. Needing will become a codependency, allowing someone to have the power to eliminate the output of the need. Wanting is choosing your partner over and over again, not because I need you, but because I want you." Now, that does sound smart. It sounds psychological, right? It sounds like something you'd read in a therapy book or something. But let's hold tight to that thought and come back to it after we unpack the other two women in this conversation. So let's pivot to Ciara. Now, we know that she's the poster girl for "I prayed for a good man," right? And she got him. Russell Wilson is not just her husband, he's her peace. But let's be honest, she had to evolve to receive this man, right? Before him, there was Future, and Future was chaos wrapped in diamonds. But Ciara's journey wasn't just about finding a better man. It was about becoming the version of herself that could sustain that kind of healthy love, right? That's the part that people gloss over, because when women say "I want a Russell," they forget that Russells just don't show up for the girls who are still in love with toxicity, right? Growth is a requirement. It's not an option. Then let's take Teyana, who's recently divorced. She was formerly married to Amon Shumpert, right? Now, let's just say that their relationship had layers. From the outside perception, it looked like black love at its finest. But again, what looks good on the surface can still be emotionally exhausting behind the scenes. And now she's dating British actor Pierre, a very different type of man, a quiet success. He's a thinker, right? And something is telling me that she's dating differently, loving differently, probably listening more, right? Because after heartbreak, the smart woman doesn't just heal, she evolves. Now back to Keisha. Let's break this down clinically and not condescendingly, okay? When she says that Gucci needs her, she's not saying that she wants him helpless, right? She's saying that she's his infrastructure, right? His emotional home, his lifestyle architect, the brain that keeps the empire moving while he creates, right? From a psychological perspective, this is not codependency. That's complementary functionality to me, right? It's just my opinion here. And in transactional terms, he creates and she operates. He builds, she sustains. And that's not a lack of self-worth. It's a mutual benefit, expressed through a different type of labor. Now, the commenter who corrected her, I understand where she's coming from. Because need does have this negative connotation in psychology, right? Codependency, emotional resilience. But not all need is dysfunction. Healthy interdependence is a real thing. We are wired for connection, right? And yeah, some people do need each other. And that can be healthy if it's intentional, right? And honest and reciprocated. But here's where we separate facts from feelings. The issue isn't that Keisha said that she wants her husband to need her. The issue is that some women heard that and they felt threatened, because it forces us to confront the ways that we show up in relationships, right? Are we useful? Are we partners, or are we just present? Now that's the uncomfortable truth. And for the record, Keisha didn't ask for anybody's approval. She said that works for her, right? And this woman also casually mentioned that she's in the same tax bracket as the Kardashians, okay? So go figure. But let me just offer this before I get off here. In clinical relationship psychology, there are 4 primary attachment styles, and a securely attached adult can both need and want their partner. Okay? The need is rooted in safety. The want is rooted in desire. And a good relationship, it's a dance between the two, right? So maybe Keyshia is simply voicing what many women feel but are afraid to say. And she made it very clear. Now, Ciara, she needed to feel safe, right? And Russell offered safety. Teyana needed peace, and she sought it after her divorce. And Keyshia needed to feel needed, and Gucci gives her that power. Now, every woman has her own formula, right? There is no universal blueprint. And the moment that we stop judging how other women manage their love lives, the freer that we all become. Now, let's not pretend that the flip side doesn't exist as well. There are men who cater to their women in the same exact way, and they do everything so that she can shine, and no one bats an eye, right? Because when a man does it, it's called providing. When a woman does it, she's a pick-me, or whatever you want to call it. That's a double standard, and it's loud. But what if she's not being submissive? She's being strategic, right? What if Gucci creatively thrives because Keyshia runs everything else, right? What if it's not codependence, but high-level delegation, right? See, the issue isn't her choice. It's our discomfort with her confidence is the problem, right? Here's my final word. Every relationship has its own rules, and Keisha's definition of love and partnership doesn't have to match ours, right? It doesn't even have to make sense to you because you're not married to Gucci Mane. She is. Now, if she wants to do everything for her man, so he can focus on the music, then that's her math. Just like Ciara found her forever by preparing herself, and Teyana is loving again on her terms. Need, want, choose, submit, serve. All of it boils down to this. Are you happy with the love that you have? If the answer is yes, then whatever you're doing, it's working. Because whether you're the one that's holding it down or the one that's being held down, love, when it's done right, that's the real flex. So we can't be mad at that, right? That's all I have for this video, guys. That comment just kind of got under my skin just a little bit because we're all different, right? No two women are the same, and we all need and want something different. So yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. This is Ruthless TV, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for listening, and I'm going to see you on the next one.